Welcome back to another edition of the Prospect Profile, a mini-series we do here within the Atlanta Braves franchise, where we go over top prospects from AA Mississippi up to AAA Gwinnett. Last time we were in AA Mississippi for Bruce Mesoraco, our first-round pick in 2016, and now we're going to be heading up to AAA Gwinnett for catching prospect Gordon Miller. So Gordon Miller is a 69 overall, C potential, not the highest potential rating, but the guy has already got some great stats, and he's our quote-unquote third catcher. So if someone gets hurt, or we need somebody to call up at catcher, this guy is the first guy to be called up from AAA. He's a right-handed bat, right-handed throw, obviously. He stands 6'1", 200 pounds. He's a stocky guy. Looks like he benches a decent amount. He's 22 years old, and he is from the state of Missouri. So where do we get this guy, Gordon Miller, from? Because he was definitely not on our team last year, and we definitely did not draft this guy. Well, he is one of those guys that the AI teams draft and then just don't sign for whatever reason. So the second you hit free agency in the offseason, these guys are sitting there just ripe for the taking, and we went out and signed Gordon Miller, and he is now our third catcher, like I said. And this guy is pretty darn good. He's a very good contact hitter. He's got 67 contact versus righties, 77 versus lefties, which is to be expected as a right-handed hitter. He has very poor power. It's 26 both ways. He's not going to be hitting the ball out of the park. He's more of an average slap hitter, sort of. Very good vision at 70. 64 discipline is also good. And a 69 clutch, nice. So he's going to be able to drive runners in while they're in scoring position as well with that clutch rating. On the defensive side of the ball, he is also very good at fielding. He's very good with his reaction time, and he has very good blocking. He is a very solid defensive catcher. The only thing that's iffy about that is his arm. He only has a 55 arm strength and a 39 arm accuracy, so definitely not something to get excited there about his arm. Gonna have some trouble throwing out runners, especially with that accuracy. You never know where the ball's gonna go with an accuracy that low, but that's something to work on. But, I mean, he can play left field. It says his second position is left field. He's probably more suited to be a first baseman as his second position because he's way too slow to play left field. And even though the fielding and reaction probably makes up for a decent bit, I wouldn't really want him in left field with that 31 speed. And like I said, he is our third catcher, quote-unquote third catcher, as he is the guy who, if somebody gets hurt, say Roberto Perez gets hurt, or John Ryan Murphy gets hurt, Roberto Perez will be... Well, if John Ryan Murphy gets hurt, Roberto Perez would be our starting catcher, and then our backup would be Gordon Miller. And Miller's durability rating is definitely not the best, but it's definitely not the worst. He's got a 60 durability, which, I mean, it's going to keep him on the field, but he may run into a couple injuries here and there throughout his career. Hopefully not, but it is a possibility with the 60 durability, especially at a catcher position, which does take a lot of beating behind that plate. And now moving on to Gordon Miller's MLB player comparison. I kind of have two. One of them's not really an MLB player. One of them is from last year's Athletics franchise. If you guys watched that series, you'll remember Ramon Benitez. This guy is basically a carbon copy of Ramon Benitez, except I believe Benitez had a way better arm. And Benitez had less durability, like way less durability. That guy could not stay on the field for the life of him. So basically, this guy's durability, they traded durability and arm strength is basically what happened. And this guy is pretty much Ramon Benitez. And kind of just like Ramon Benitez's comparison was Joe Mauer, but Ramon Benitez was a left-handed bat, and Gordon Miller is a right-handed, so he's kind of like a right-handed Joe Mauer. I'm sure people are going to comment, but he had home runs that 1 or 2 seasons. Yeah, but look at his home run numbers for the rest of his career. Guy's not a power hitter. I would say Joe Mauer's a pretty good comparison, but he's a right-handed Joe Mauer. So with that being said, that's going to wrap things up here for this edition of the Prospect Profile. I've been your host, Jerseyborn, and I'm saying goodbye.
As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I take a look at my life and realize there's nothing left. Cause I've been blasting and laughing so long that even my mama thinks that my mind is gone.